Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So I'm going to be doing a tutorial and I'm going to be using some new products, and I'm just randomly picking some of the new things that I have hauled recently in my last Ulta haul. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link it here. Also, two things from my last IPSY bag that came for the month of July. And I'm going to just sort of incorporate those in today's video and kind of do some kind of first impressions along the way. And just a very casual kind of let's get ready together. So I have already put on sort of like my base. The majority of what I'm going to be wearing today on my face is my Elta MD Tinted SPF, which I've talked about before. It's one of my favorite SPFs. In fact, it's the only SPF that I use. It's Tinted SPF 44. It's oil-free, fragrance-free, paraben-free, sensitive, skin-free, gluten-free, non-comedogenic. It's great for all skin types, and that is what I have on. I do have a few tiny little bumps or like little breakouts on my chin, which is bizarre because I never break out on my chin. So we're going to move past that. I'm going to cover it a little bit. Do need to put some concealer on, and I just have some imperfections, some minor discoloration from previous breakouts. But for the most part, that does a really great job at covering up most and giving me sort of like an even coverage and covering up light imperfections. So I really highly recommend that. It's one of my favorite products. So I'm going to do some of my, what am I doing? Oh, primer for my eyes. I'm going to use the Tarte Colored Clay CC Primer. I'm going to use this first because I'm using an OFRA eyeshadow, which I've never used anything from OFRA before that I can think of. This cap is such a pain. I've never used anything from OFRA Cosmetics before, so I kind of wanted to see the quality of their eyeshadows, and I got one. It's kind of golden, kind of bronzy, coppery type of color in my IPSY bag, so I thought, let's use it. The Real Techniques domed, is it domed? Yeah, domed shadow brush, or just any kind of synthetic, densely packed brush works well with this. And I'm just going to put a thin layer over my eyelids just to prep them and get them ready for some eyeshadows. Now, I think I'm going to do something pretty simple today for eyeshadows. And if the mic is picking up any sort of lawn mowing sounds, I apologize. They're doing some mowing and landscaping across the house in front of mine. So, bear with me. And the next thing I want to do is set that primer, the CC primer from Tarte, with a little bit of translucent powder. And the one that I have been loving is the Bye Bye Pores from IT Cosmetics. Is one of my top favorites setting powders, which I did a video a while ago, and I'll link it again above. It'll pop up here. And this one is very, very good at setting any creams and also giving you like a soft, smooth, kind of silky, velvety feel, which is very unique to other setting powders that I have tried, and I have tried many. And this one is by far the one that makes the skin feel like a baby's bottom, and that ain't no lie. So I do use Bare Minerals as my concealer, and it is a powder, but when you blend it into the skin, it actually becomes creamy like you applied a liquid. So I just take a little bit of that in a cap, or in the cap, and a big fluffy crease style brush. I kind of swirl, tap off the excess, and that is what I apply for concealer. And that's pretty much the extent of concealer. So easy. And it literally takes just a few seconds. And because I already have my tinted moisturizer, or tinted SPF, which is kind of moisturizing as well, so it's kind of similar to a tinted moisturizer, I'm going to use these minerals to cover up any imperfections. Now, I switched to a Morphe E8 style brush, which looks like this, for adding minerals to the areas that I need a little bit of extra coverage. So for today, that's going to be right here where I have a scar from a breakout. I'm just going to kind of swirl and buff this in quickly around the nose. Here I have like another little scar here. And it won't completely cover it away because I'm not using a whole lot. Again, I'm keeping everything super light today, but it's just enough to kind of diffuse that and make it a little less apparent. And I'm also going to take a little bit right over this area here because I have like 4 little bumps, little tiny breakouts, which get on my nerves. And basically that's it. That's what I do for foundation most days. It's literally just 2 things. and they're lightweight and super, super easy. So you may have noticed I already did my brows, and I did that prior to starting filming, and that's the Maybelline product that I did a video on several weeks ago. One end is a pencil, and then the other end is a powder, so it's like a double-ended thing, so I have that already done. The eyeshadow that I got in my IPSY bag for July from OFRA came in a little pouch like this. It says Gold Rush Eyeshadow, and I'm going to be trying these out for the very first time, and I like the way they shipped it. It has like a foam ring around it to kind of hold the shadow in place so it's not bopping around as it ships, which I think is pretty cool. Has nothing written on the back, so I'm assuming it's called Gold Rush. That's what it says on the back. Alright, so I think before I apply that color to my lids, because I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something shimmery and gold on the lid. I'm going to go in with some eyeshadows, some neutrals, some mattes in the crease just to kind of define this look a little bit more. And I'm going to go into my Sonia Kashuk palette. I really want to use my Jaclyn Hill, but I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about it. But that's such a good palette, but this was just as good. It works really well. So I'm going to go in with some of these lighter shades in the top just to even everything out and go right over that eyeshadow primer. Just quickly, and I'm using a Morphe M441 brush. Okay, so for crease colors, I'm going to switch to the Morphe M433 brush, which looks like that. It's a very good brush. And I'm just going to go into some just light neutral colors, nothing too dark. And I'm going to add that just right into my natural crease area. It is so hot out, you guys. It's unreal. The other day it was like 96 degrees and I thought I was going to die. So I'm keeping everything pretty light today, kind of light and summery. You know, just easy. It's just my kind of thing. Now I'm going to switch to a Vasanti eyeshadow 2 brush. I believe this is something that I got from IPSY several months ago, and I really like this brush. It's kind of flat like a concealer style brush, very densely packed, and I think this works really well for super shimmery eyeshadows. And I'm going to apply that right onto my lid. Well, there's not a whole lot of payoff with this color. I mean, it's pretty. You can see a little bit of that shimmer going on here. I don't know about that's not too much fallout. Okay, not yet. We're gonna build this up and see what happens. All right, so that's just a little thin layer of the eyeshadow. I feel like it's not as pigmented as I had hoped. So I'm just adding some more. And when you sort of pack it on, it does show up. So I'm thinking that this will be an eyeshadow that needs to be foiled in order to show up pretty well. So let's do it. Let's just try it with the foiling method. I'm going to use my Smashbox primer water, whatever is left, because I'm almost completely out. And I'm going to see if that makes a difference. Let's just do one eye first. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Whoa, okay, yeah. Foiling is the way to go. Look at that. Definitely better foiling. Much better. And I'm going to just take my eyeshadow brush and kind of go around everything and just soften out those edges. Maybe add a little bit more of the crease color that I used. So this shade right here. Just a little bit of that. Just to kind of add more depth to this look. Okay, I think that's pretty. Nice, soft, and light, not too crazy. So I'm going to take a pencil brush with that same crease eyeshadow, crease color that I used, and I'm going to go onto the lower lash line. I'm using the MAC 219 for this. And then for the inner corner, I'm just going to highlight a little bit with this white mixed in with this lighter beige, light skin tone color here. Alright, so for liner, I'm going to use my Maybelline Curvy liner. Haven't even tried it yet. I'm about to peel this plastic off. Alright, so I've taken off the packaging off of it. It's got some tape on it. So this is what the tip looks like. It's very different than just your regular style liquid liner pens. So wish me luck that I don't screw this up. Let me get my mirror here. And we're going to go for, I think I'm going to start, I don't know if I should start with it laying flat or not. Let's start with the very tip of it and see how that works. Okay. Well, it's applying quite nicely just from using the very point of the tip, which I think is going to be the best bet for me right now because that'll give me somewhat of a thinner line, whereas on the side, which is wider, it's going to give you a much thicker line. So it gives you some option, which I think is nice. And that really small point is really good for getting the inner corner. Look how thin that came out. Thin and straight. So I'm liking this. Let's go on the side. Oh yeah. Okay. I see you, Maybelline. Well, that was pretty easy. Yes. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Alright, so I went ahead and applied my mascara. I don't have a new one to show you. I have been absolutely loving the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, so that's what I used, and I just adore that mascara. It is my favorite. And then I also did my bronzer because, again, that's nothing new. Now, for blush, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear. I always get tongue twisted when I say that, but it's the blush that I showed you guys in my last haul. I've worn this in a few videos, but I don't actually think I've used it in a tutorial recently, so I'm going to be applying that with the EcoTools Define brush. This came in a set of two, this one and a fan brush. And I've actually really have enjoyed this blush. It's so, so pretty, and it's the right tone. It goes with absolutely everything. It just looks so natural, and I'm just going to do a little tiny bit right on the apples of my cheek. So pretty. And it is matte, but it doesn't look super flat and chalky. It's kind of like a satiny matte finish. It's really, really pretty. And this is, I think, did I tell you the shade is natural? I'm losing my mind. Okay, now I do want to add a little bit of setting powder, so what I'm going to do is use my Bye Bye Pores from A Cosmetics with a dampened beauty blender. So I'll show you guys that. Just a damp beauty blender, take a little bit of the powder, and then just kind of press it in my T-zone where I get the most oil throughout the day. And that helps kind of keep everything from breaking down on me. And doing it with a damp beauty blender, it sets everything and makes it look matte, but it doesn't look chalky, it doesn't look dry, it doesn't feel dry, but everything is nice and set. I just love the beauty blender. It's such a versatile thing to have in your collection. I think everyone should have one. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm going to use the Laura Geller one in the Diamond Dust. I've been wearing this ever since I bought it. It is so, so pretty, you guys. And I'm going to be using a new brush. This is from, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm going to just list it down below. It's the Illuminator brush that I got in my IPSY bag for July, and it says Illuminator, so let's do it. Use it for some highlight. I feel like this might actually give me, oh, there you go, see, pretty. Hey. You may also be able to get it on QVC. That's where my sister saw it, and she told me about it. Down the nose. Cupid's bow. I just like to blend it out with my finger, just so it doesn't look too heavy and not too pink, because there is a distinctive pink tone with this. And then for lips, I'm going to mix two different products. The first one is the matte a lipstick in Peach Buff from Maybelline. Also one of those items that I shared with you in my haul video. And I'm just going to lightly dab this, just lightly, because my lips feel a little bit dry. And dry lips and matte lipsticks, they never work. So, I'm going to just do a little bit of it. And I like this formula a lot because it's matte, but it's super creamy. I'm going to hit it with some gloss. This is the Trixie gloss by Buxom. And it's a pretty peachy pink color. And it smells so good. Nice and minty. Alright guys, so that completes the look. I really like the overall look. I think it's very light and very fresh, and that's exactly what I was going for today. Just very easy and put together. Not too much eyeshadows, not too much products on my face, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. So just to kind of give you some thoughts, kind of like first impressions, and kind of wrap up this video. The eyeshadow from OFRA Cosmetics, the Gold Rush eyeshadow, I think it's really pretty. I have a lot of these eyeshadows, so this is not unique to my collection. And I have other eyeshadows that when I apply them, they're just as pigmented with a dry brush as they are when they're wet. So I would probably pass on this. I don't think that I would purchase a ton of OFRA eyeshadows. I mean, I'll use them as I get them through my IPSY bags, but I wouldn't actually go out and buy them. So that's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys have tried them. If you have, let me know what you think of the brand. What should I try from them? If I should invest money in this brand, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, pretty color, but again, like I said, it's not that special in my opinion, so I think I'll pass on that. I do, however, really enjoy the Maybelline Curvy eyeliner. I didn't think that I would. I thought that it would have some crazy weird tip to apply the liquid foundation, but actually, liquid foundation? Liquid liner. See, I caught myself. Liquid liner. I think that it works really well. That really fine point of it, you can get really thin and precise in the inner corner as you're coming in this inner part of the liner, and then you can use the side to thicken it as you come out to the outer edge. I think it works really well. It applies very smooth and seamless and nice, rich, and black. So I do really enjoy this, and I would recommend it, and I will continue to use that. The highlighter, you guys know that I like this. I've worn it in my last few videos. I think it's really pretty, and it's quite different, so I'm enjoying using different tones of highlighters instead of the typical champagne colors and sort of like those goldeny kind of rose tone shades. I like this sort of pinky kind of duochrome unicorn thing going on. I think it looks really pretty. The blush, love it. Very pigmented. I've used this quite a few times already. I will be going back to purchase more products from Physicians Formula. I have enjoyed it. Haven't been breaking out from it, so it's really good. Love it. Pretty natural color. You can't really tell too much that I'm wearing blush, although it can be overdone if you're not light-handed with it, but it's very, very pretty. And finally, the lipstick. I do like the formula of this. I think that if you have really dry lips like I do today, it's not a good match, so I have my little buffer here, the gloss, to kind of help minimize the appearance of that. But if your lips are prepped, use a sugar scrub, hydrate them, and get them ready. You can definitely rock a nice matte lip. It's nice and creamy, but it's not drying at all. So I really like the formula of this, and I think I may go back and pick up some more of these. And that is everything. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and mini review / first impressions of these newer products in my collection. If you've tried any of these, please feel free to leave your comments and your experience with them down below, and I will respond to you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for being here and spending some of your day. Like and thumbs up this video if you want more videos like this. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Getting tongue twisted here. And I appreciate you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys give me. It means more than you'll ever know. And I guess I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.